Hello! Alright, let's see if everything's working here. Looks like I'm going live right now. We'll set that over to live chat. We'll go over to my YouTube. We will see if I happen to exist. You may hear two of me, but you know what? That's fine. Alright, cool. And then we can start posting this around. Where's that noise coming? Oh, Minecraft. I didn't mute the music yet. Uh, funny how that, funny how that happens, you know, you just forget this game has music. Fuck. I'm getting hit in the nostalgia. Okay. Okay. We're gonna create a new world. We're gonna do this with everyone. No enchantments. We're gonna do this on normal, game mode survival. I'm gonna turn on cheats, but that's just because I like having them for a lot of like personal development reasons and stuff. We'll be doing like a lot of like game design demos with this. And I mean, if you know anything about Minecraft, you know that you could just cheat by going to LAN anyways. For our world type, we're gonna leave blank or no enchantments. We're gonna have generate structures on. We will not be doing a bonus chest. And then game rules. I probably won't be touching these too much. However, we're going to be turning on the hardcore. Oh wait, is that a difficulty? Ah, there it is. Yeah, hardcore. Okay. We'll see if the mods work. Is all I'm gonna say. Ah, god damn it. Hi. I'm basically doing this to prove a point. Mostly to myself, but also to like the Minecraft community as a whole. That the biggest problem with Minecraft's difficulty is that enchantments are way too accessible now. Before, enchantments used to be a very temporary thing, right? Because you couldn't repair them. So it was a significant investment to keep enchanted tools. Why is there text there, but not? Oh. So, we'll get rid of the chat saver too. There's screenshots. Minecraft. Spawn in a desert. This is awful. But I think one of the biggest problems with the Minecraft difficulty is that enchantments are far too accessible for but otherwise used to be a very temporary, small boost. To get an efficiency 5 enchantment was very rare, very difficult. But nowadays, it's a lot more accessible. I'm really pushing my computer with this, huh? Uh-oh. Hold on. Perhaps I can just make myself smaller. That will save enough. Well, I'm not playing any like difficulty mod, so tough as nails isn't like applicable here. Hello. Okay, that saved enough rendering. See, like sugarcane here is exciting to me for the sugar now. I intend to use pumpkin pies if we get the pumpkin. There is one enchantment I will allow myself, and that enchantment is Silk Touch. Why Silk Touch? Well, because there's certain blocks in the game that need it. otherwise it does very little to make your game easier. It just makes it slightly more convenient to get certain block types for building. Now I'm gonna basically just have to look for either a village or starve to death. You are meat. I like how I'm getting this nice, pleasant music as I'm slowly dying of hunger in the middle of a desert. Game is goddamn pretty. We're playing with the Rethinking Voxels shader pack, and you'll see why that one's really nice later. However, for now, just trust me that it's worth having a pretty decent outdoors. Alright, we have a tree. After that, I think my first priority is going to be making a... Ooh, is that a village? That appears to be a village. My first priority, after I get this tree, get some food. Looks like we have a water supply here to be able to make that into something with fish. Yay, village. There's a cave nearby. I don't know how I heard that. As you can hear, we have the sound physics mod, one of my personal favorites. And we have to be careful, because right now, because of this very low hunger situation, damage is very permanent. And I have to be very careful of that. We're getting a couple fish should allow me to survive a little bit longer. Just long enough to explore that village. Okay. We need fuel, we need a furnace. Need some charcoal. We'll probably find some of this. But I think I will go searching for it. If I can get a child from the tree, that's wonderful. There we go. We can now replant. We'll now be making our way over to the village. So, I want to prove a point. So, generally in Minecraft, you would rush to get enchantments and then do all the bosses, and then you're like, oh god, I'm out of content to do now that I've made the beacon and beat the dragon and, you know, got elytra. And it took you, you know, 10 hours because you understand the game front and back and you've been playing it since you were 12. And for me, that's not actually all that far off. I've been playing this game for a very long time. I've been playing it for about 10 to 12 years at this point. Um, I was playing the game when they first added jungles and stuff. In a lot of ways, I understand how some people can think that this game is too easy. And in a lot of ways, it is. It's very accessible and very easy. String. Okay. Why there's string there, but I'll take it. I'm gonna need a few of those. And I think there has been some serious power creep to the game. I mean, if you threw the Warden in Alpha 2 or whatever, players would freak the hell out, because that's not a normal Minecraft mob. I to this day still don't like the Warden's like implementation. I think it could have been done better. But regardless of how I feel on it, the Warden's in the game, and he's here to stay. And I don't think he's as bad as it could have been. Here's a great example on why I love this shaders. Alright, get a furnace. What else am I making? Oh yeah, the bread. Okay, we have a village to stay in. I don't think I'm going to be staying here for long. Mostly for the villagers' sake. But also for my sake. I don't want to live in village. I'm going to follow the river, I think. If we can't find, like, a good cave. I hear zombies under me. And I know that that means that there's probably some large cave. But I'm going to try and find something with, like, a good surface access. Instead of digging. Otherwise, I'm going to go through and get some wood, as that is a very tight resource in this area. Now, I'm going to try to not skip nights, and I know that that's like a hardcore staple and something you really need to do if you want to like hedge your bets and make sure you live for long enough to play the game. Ick. I don't like the Savannah biome. But, you know, I'm not here to win Minecraft. I'm here to prove that if you play in the right way and just ignore certain mechanics, the game gets a lot tougher. And that shouldn't be the case. That shouldn't be how the game is balanced. I think enchantments need a rework, and they need to be basically done from the ground up. Not necessarily in the what their effects are. I mean, the effects are very basic and straightforward. Which, if you had an amateur programmer, which a lot of people did at the time, because Minecraft was programmed by Notch, who was amateur. Probably a chest at these things, right? I like this purple light. Don't get me wrong, but I'd rather some money. Alright, we gotta get out of here. I'm gonna take my torch, and I'm gonna look for a safer place to go. I guess I could go to the village. Village is close enough. Minecraft is not well balanced. I don't think that's a big... To make it better, what you could do is change how enchantments are. I think they're too easy to get. And people are only moderately annoyed at the too expensive thing. I'm of the belief that you shouldn't be able to repair enchanted gear at all. But I understand people have a sentimental attachment to items that they felt like they worked hard to get. And enchanted gear, you kind of have to work hard to get it. I just have to resist the urge to go straight to bed because that is not what I'm doing this game. Hello, camel. Just stay away from the creeper and it'll be okay. Do I have enough wood for a boat? I do. I think I should make one. However, I want him. Dead. Fuck. Okay, I'm dead. I don't have any armor. Did I get enough string? I got enough string for a fishing pole, but I'd rather a bow. Okay. Okay, you cheeky bastard. And he's coming at me with a shovel. Problematic. I also believe that the shield is one of those items that is very crutchy. It blocks so much damage and it solves so many problems. And there's just literally nothing better to put in your offhand. I know some people be like, oh, Totem Undying is really good because it gives you a second life. Broski, you don't need a second life if you never take damage in the first place. Alright, we have enough for a bow, which I will craft. But only because I want to, not because I was told. Ooh, let's try and get some friendly fire in here, I guess, is the only way I'd get out of this. Okay. Okay, there we go, there's one. That's great. Okay. Yep. There's the end of that. Alright. Single player. We'll delete that. Yeah. I had very little attachment. Oh, wait. Create new world. Enchantless. You are maidenless, machine. Maidenless. So I'm gonna be enchantless this time. Oh, what is this? Alright, enchantless. Okay, this is a neat seed. I can work with this. I'm going to turn down the music a little. See, when you actually start somewhere that has wood, the game doesn't take, 20 minutes to get stone tools. Granted, I do not have charcoal currently. It'll change. We can change that. No way. That's a pink sheep or is that purple? What are you? What are you? Uh Targeted block. I don't need... Bro, pink sheep is rarest sheep. Wait, no, I need that. There we go. Alright. Um that's pretty rare. I think that's a pink sheep. It might be a purple sheep, but pink sheep, I believe, has a 1 in 250,000 chance of spawning, which is a pretty rare, but it happens kind of deal. About the same odds as a mushroom island, although a little bit tougher because mushroom, or a little bit easier because mushroom can only spawn in ocean, while the pink sheep can spawn anywhere that can support sheep. Get some of them cooked up. And start looking around at what we have. We have a cave down here. That might be promising. That's it. That's our cave. Alright. Alright, we haven't dropped any frames. We're good. Alright, we now actually have some torches. We got some items, some weapons, some tools. Next, we are going to need blocks. Now, speedrunners play this game without enchantments all the time. I mean, the goal is to get something like looting 2 or something. Because that makes your speedruns more consistent and less suspicious. Isn't that right, Dream? Um, but you don't need it. You really don't need any enchantments to beat the game. And I think that's good. I think the game needs to have less of a focus on the gear and equipment you have. Because it's been moving away from that. It's been moving away from, like, going into the dirt and finding things, and to explore the world and find things. The villagers are a great example of this, where players with a village inherently have a greater potential for resources than players without a village. Players with a witch's hut or a spawner have greater potentials for gear and equipment than those without. Um, Those with cows have access to, you know, the enchantments and stuff. Those without don't. You know, stuff like that. Where it encourages you to explore the world more. And I don't think that's inherently a bad thing. However, I, personally, do not think that is the direction Minecraft does best in. I think Minecraft should be about familiarity, not about exploration. Because Minecraft's biggest community, I think, is the builders. Because there's basically the builders, the survivalists, and the for like the base game. There's builders, survivalists, and well, the 12-year-olds, but and trying to appease all these groups gets very difficult, especially in a game like Minecraft, where they tend to have very different wants. For example, people like me really want new mobs and really want new like survival mechanics, because that hasn't really been touched in 12 years. You know, people like the builders want new blocks. They love new blocks. The redstone guys are kind of like builders. They love new blocks too. Alright, cool. We have the cave somewhat secure now. Let's start cooking up some food, getting ready to go delving. I don't know why I need a chest. I'm in hardcore. Dude, I fucking love this. This light thing is so cool. My computer hates it, but I love it. Bro, look at this. Look at it. It's so pretty. Alright, we got an iron, which is good enough for a shield, which would... Since I'm doing a no enchantment run, not a no shield run, I can use a shield, and I will let myself use a shield, begrudgingly. More iron up there. I should probably get that first. I've been thinking about, like, what would I do if I got put in charge of making, like, a voxel survival game, sort of in the vein of Minecraft. Now, I'm sure Emmett here is gonna go like, Hunter, you have too many game projects. I'm like, broski, let me think of cool shit. Okay? I don't give a shit. It's a coping mechanism with my mental disabilities. How about that? Who are you to deny me those? So if I was to design a game, you know, a survival game like Minecraft, Actually, I would probably focus on a more uh tower defense aspect of it. I always kind of like the idea of like the monsters come at night. Prepare yourself for they're coming for you. Like angle Minecraft had. It definitely felt like at the beginning. Um, people often say like, "Oh, the first night was goddamn terrifying," and Minecraft just actually isn't because no, 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 no. We had so many fewer tools to deal with monsters that building and like making paths and like fortifications was necessary. Not to say like creepers would blow through walls or anything, but we couldn't sleep in old school Minecraft, right? Um, the bed was skipping day was not a function. I think the bed was one of the biggest damages to that like tower defense idea. Um, Shame, but whatever. It is thoroughly nighttime out there, so we're gonna go caving for a little while. So when the bed got added, Minecraft definitely became a lot more about surviving the night and finding a couple sheep to steal the warm fur off of. And it's all optional mechanics, and that's kind of what I'm doing right now. But Minecraft could do with like a more tower defense orientated playstyle. And I would definitely do that. I would say, here's your Hearthstone. Monsters will, every night, some monsters will spawn kind of randomly on your map. Your world's going to be very small. It won't be like the infinite expanse of Minecraft. Your world's going to be like 100 blocks wide or something. And monsters at night will just spawn randomly throughout it, and then like every couple of nights, like a big wave of monsters will come to attack you. Sort of like RimWorld. And then, however you built your defenses is what you got to fight them off. Sort of like RimWorld. I like RimWorld's like concept, but I do not like its execution. Because often RimWorld turns into you built a 2D box your opponents can't do anything about. Because they're not aggressive enough in breaking things. And you also have no say in what's attacking your base. Like, eventually, dudes with guns or dudes with bows and arrows gets really freaking boring. And almost everything in the game boils down to thing with gun. Melee units are a joke on attack. They're a goddamn godsend on defense, don't get me wrong. But on attack, most melee units are dead before they get to the front line, unless the enemy's actually using some sort of tactic like smoke. Which just doesn't happen. So if I was gonna do this game, I wouldn't do it like I'm thinking on how I would do it, because you could definitely do it like Minecraft, where you just build it block by block, and you go up to the thing, and the monsters will do their best to like make a pass. Some monsters can blow up blocks, etc., etc. Personally, I like the idea that if you were to do something like that, the monsters can both explode your walls and they'll make objectives out of certain rooms. Like, your crafting bench is one of their objectives. They're going to go and break your crafting bench. Your Your storage is another objective. They're gonna go and blow up your storage. You are an objective. They're trying to get to you. And certain monsters will have different objectives, and if they cannot pathfind to it, they'll spawn in with like an explosive unit who will run up to your walls and explode, slowly drilling their way in. So you're kind of encouraged to make like a maze to get there. You know, stuff like that. Um, and because it'd be like a limited world size, you can only make your fortress so big, and maybe some enemies spawn in at the edge of the map, and they're like flying and stuff. So you don't want to build at the edge; you want to build in the center. And then how I would do it, so to build your defenses, your turrets, your units, whatever, you have to go and do like normal Minecraft mining. So you go to a location on the map, and they'd be like, would you like to travel to the mining sector or whatever? And then you can go to the mine and then do like a quick like dynamically generated level. That would be like level 1 mine, and then when you get done with that, you can either go down to the next level, or you can leave with all your stuff. So the roguelike element would be there. Not that everything has to be roguelike, but small game development teams, like, 2 or 3 people, highly benefit from including roguelike elements, simply due to the fact that the time spent making roguelike content technically generates infinite content. And a lot more of it than just if you were to do everything handmade. I could see like a Minecraft Dungeons way of doing it, where you have a couple preset levels, and those preset levels being just things you can replay over and over again, with just different difficulties and enemy types. But I don't find that as intriguing of a concept. And even Minecraft Dungeons had some amount of like randomness to it. Not every level was the same every time. There were little variations here and there. And I think you could do something similar to that vein in like a Minecraft quote-unquote clone. To differentiate Minecraft, though, I would make mining a lot harder and slower. So you'd have the pickaxe. I would do it so you hold it to charge it up, and then you let go, and it will hit the block in front of you, and then it will break that block in one swing. Less dedication to per block, but I'd make like the equivalent of a block in Minecraft 4 blocks in that game. So you'd have to break a lot of blocks to make like a path for yourself, so you're more encouraged to go along the tunnel, but you can still dig yourself out of a hole if you need to. That also opens up the opportunity for items that will break more blocks at once and stuff like that. And it'll also make the generation a bit smoother, because I don't like Minecraft having to jump over everything generation. I understand why it's in the game, because at this point it's just too iconic to get rid of. But I need people to genuinely ask themselves, is that actually like good game design, or just a relic of the old days, quote unquote, of this game, where things just weren't as thought out, and they were just kind of added by one guy who is a neckbeard in a lot of ways, both literally and physically. Or both mentally and physically is what I meant to say. And see, the AI in this game really isn't that well done. Like, it's barely serviceable. And, you know, that's probably for its benefit, considering that it's, at this point in time, marketed to children. And the perception of Minecraft has definitely changed, like, in response to that marketing. It used to be kind of like an everyman's game. Lots of people who played it just simply weren't kids. Kids loved it, don't get me wrong. But it was very... well, it was very much a game that some people played. And it wasn't like some kid game or anything. Now, it most definitely is one of the kid games. Kind of like Fortnite. I do miss Minecraft a lot. And I know it's weird to say, considering I'm playing it. But I mean, I miss the way it used to make me feel. I miss the way that I used to feel so much wonder and sense of, like, discovery at every little piece of it. It used to genuinely be a fantasy world I was interested and invested in, and got me hyped about its mysteries and secrets. I didn't know everything there is to know about the game, and in a lot of ways, that passion is what, you know, made me so motivated to explore every corner of it. I've had a lot of journeys with this game. And I don't think they're over. I just think that they're different now. Before it was this exploration, you know, a sense of adventure and fear. There was danger, there was darkness, there was mining, there was crafting, there was experimentation, you know. I constantly had to have a test world in order to see how things worked. I had to put things together and, you know, pull them apart again. And now it's like, oh, I'm just gonna log on, you know, prove to the world that I don't really like the enchantments. I get lost in the techno mumbo jumbo, and I know way too much about all the spawn rates and stuff. And not that I hate this game, in fact, I still quite enjoy it. The problem with it is just that, you know, I've enjoyed it for too long. I haven't grown out of it. I can assure you that. Strange to feel like, you know, I grew up with this game. Me and Minecraft are older now. We're different. Changed. I wish I could say that it was for the better. Both of us have been through some crap. I mean, Minecraft got bought by Microsoft, which I don't need to tell everyone how that was the literal moment this game died. I used to think, oh, that'll be fine. There'll be no problems with that. That just means it'll go on forever. I guess I have to ask myself, you know, is forever worth it? And I don't think it is. I think Minecraft, earnestly and honestly, needs some serious revisions. I think there's some core gameplay issues that are honestly really hard to ignore. Not that Mojang hasn't been doing good. I mean, the expanded world was an amazing addition. The new caves, vertical chunks. These are things that Minecraft have needed for years. And I'm talking years. But the same breath, you know, there's a lot else that needs to be done. I mean, combat's still messed up. 1.9 isn't fixed. That was an update they promised like 11 updates ago, you know? I don't agree that old combat was better. Some people are weird about that, and they're like, oh, the old combat was way better, more strategic, blah, blah, blah. But I don't blindly say that new combat's the only combat system that should exist. You know, that was kind of the update that killed me on Minecraft. Long, long ago. It felt like a distinct breach of a trust that I had. I was initially very optimistic about combat. I was like, finally, my crappy internet won't hold me back any longer. Um, and you know, it still kind of does, but a lot less so. Um, but shields, I think, are oppressive. There's a lot wrong with how the shield was designed. I think if it had like 30 durability, half the durability it has now, and it could not get unbreaking on it, it would actually be an interesting idea, making it possibly worn out in the duration of a fight. You know, forcing players to ask themselves, do I really want to carry multiple shields in order to just block attacks? Strength 2 potions are ridiculously overpowered. I mean, those have been in the game forever and still haven't gotten the nerf they need. I would rather the potion system get remade than the enchantment system. Because while brewing is interesting, it still has a lot uh, that's weird about it. For example, you know, back when Minecraft did its crafting thing, potions and potion brewing has always felt a little sidestepped. As if it's a part of the game that they acknowledge exists but don't really want to deal with. Before, you know, it was interesting. You had to go to some serious lengths to get potions. For example, netherwork could only grow in the nether. Blaze rods were rare as hell, and there was no easy, like, methods through nether travel. Um, Potions were difficult to make, and even more so, just difficult to uh, create because you didn't know all the recipes by heart. I think if Minecraft did one of two things, it could, you know, get opened up in a really good way. The first thing I suggest is pretty interesting and kind of stolen from Risk of Rain, where instead of worrying about like making one thing do one thing, make it so that things can stack with for potions, right? Like if you add sugar, it makes you a little bit faster, and if you add a bunch of sugar, it'll make you a lot faster, and if you add some redstone, it'll last longer, and if you know you add some glowstone, it'll be more potent, and then if you add a lot of glowstone, it'll be a lot more potent and last a little longer with all your sugar, you know, and make it a more dynamically modular stacking system rather than the very rigid, this is the result, this is the thing. Because I think strength is too much right now for what it is, and there are a lot better ways to make potions. I think the breeze and the dungeons upcoming are very good additions. I'm actually very excited for them. I would love more like that. Like a lot more. Um, I think more fantasy creatures helps Minecraft a lot, and there's a reason the Aether mod was so popular. Because it felt good to have this, like, alternative progression tree with, you know, all sorts of cool twists on what we already knew about the game. I'm in a bad spot, but that's fine. But the popularity of Aether, I think, indicates to me that at the time the community was excited for, you know, dungeons, new mobs, um, you know, a refined vision of what Minecraft already had a lot of. What I think is probably the most iconic part about the Aether mod is that it had its own progression tree. And I think you could replicate that in Minecraft with like a few randomly generated ores. Like Clobbonite has like a knockback effect. Has the same mining level as iron. Takes about as fast as gold. And is a little bit more durable. Um, and that would be interesting that every like world seed has its own ores, making each seed now more than just its terrain and generation, but also what does it have in it. It's a way of exploring, but vertically, because right now we have a lot of horizontal exploration things. We don't have a lot of vertical. We need some more. I think some of the best Minecraft series to ever come out was like Paul Source Jr.'s Man vs. Minecraft. That wasn't like because he had any crazy mods or anything. It was just because it became a survival situation. It was played out to be something difficult to survive. I believe his Kingdom series did really well too. That was a mod that allowed you to build a settlement, and that eventually kind of is reflected in the villagers today, and I kind of like that. I do think that we should have like more survival mechanics as an optional gaming rule. Tough as nails is pretty interesting. I would have played with that today if it wasn't for the fact that I was trying to prove a point about vanilla Minecraft. I think something like tough as nails, like some sort of thirst or temperature meter to be added on top of your hunger meter, um, would play very well. I think the game mode thing is pretty underutilized. I think there should be, you know, creative survival adventure, you know, like we already have. And then there should be the uh something like survivalist, right? Or something like builder, where builders is basically just peaceful mode. You focus on building. Versus the difficulty of brutal or hardcore. Focuses on surviving, you know? And something like that can be optional then. You can still have the normal game mode. You can have your survivalist game mode. You can have, you know, your cake and eat it too. And if it's something literally as lightweight as like a thirst and temperature meter, like tough as nails, I think you could literally. I think that's the best and easiest way to implement something like that. I would also have that game mode change how using an enchantment table works. In this game mode, I guess it would maybe give you some sort of higher cost for the enchantments, or your enchantments don't give you a preview. Something that makes it a little bit more difficult and risky to enchant things. Maybe after enchanting, you move slower and attack weaker for a while. Like you're paying a cost up front that you hope will be offset later. You know, I'd make it so that the tier of stone, iron, diamond gets a little slowed down. I would do that possibly by making it so you need a specific enchantment to mine diamond, which means you'd have to like explore, find a village, or find a stronghold and a bastion. Having to do that without getting the enchantments, without getting iron or diamond gear, stuff like that. If I was to make a game, I would make it so that, like this, this would be your first night. You'd be gathering resources. You'd have like a little hill or something, and then monsters would spawn like this. Then after a couple of nights, a couple of those monsters would try to walk up the hill and blow up my stuff, take my stuff, kill me, that kind of thing. And so I'd be able to set up defenses like a turret that would shoot at them as they walked up, or a spike trap that got spikes every time they stepped on it. Stuff like that. I don't think it would be Minecraft, but I think this would be far more its own game. Less about the building and exploration, and more about the survival and crafting. You know, you have to build your defenses, build your city, build your castle. But regardless, I've been streaming for an hour, and I think I'm going to be stopping right now. My neck is starting to hurt, and I have things I need to do tonight. So thank you all for stopping by. I hope that I entertained you with my rambling. My voice is starting to hurt.